postcard start to the Queen stage of the Tour de Romandy 2018. Sion to Sion, 149.2 kilometres long. Let's call it 150. 5 big climbs in the middle. All is up for grabs, even though the general classification has changed quite dramatically in the last 24 hours. Primož Roglic leads the Tour de Romandy in 6 seconds. The stage winner on the time trial, Egan Bernal, is in 2nd place. Oh, Bernal attacking. And Egan Bernal has decided with a long way to go that he's going to try and put Primož Roglic under pressure. Following the motorbikes, Richie Porte is trying to follow behind.
It's an amazing climb, as you can see here. You know, when you look up at it from the distance and you look down at it here from the heli shots, it's just an amazing climb, and it's going to be a difficult one for everybody at this time in the race. The way they have been racing out here, the breakaways giving it full gas, and the peloton of favourites going also, so it's going to be one where we'll see somebody definitely getting into difficulty.
There's Velo Viewer's view of it, and you can see it just looks like a 6-year-old's scribble. It's fantastic. It's absolutely beautiful, and I think we can lose that right now and just look at it itself. It's spectacular, Sean.
Yes, it is spectacular, because when you look down at it there, you know, it's amazing. The riders are not going to be thinking of amazing as they come up here, because everybody is going to suffer, even the guys who, you know, are up front. But when you're up front, of course, you're in the race, well, it's a different feeling. But the guys back in the bus who are being out there in the back all day, they're going to really have difficulty here to try and make it up this one.
3 minutes and 1 is the gap, 15.8 kilometres to go. Can Bardet do it, Sean? He's got 40 seconds.
Well, I think there's somebody capable of doing it. The 40 seconds, I'm afraid that for Bardet, it will take a big performance out of him, but again, he's possibly able to do that. Yesterday we see he was a long ways down. Maybe that was part of the tactic as well. Take it a little bit easier yesterday and have a go for the stage victory today. But he has, some very good riders here, not too far off him, and we will see pretty quickly on the climb here, because 10 kilometres from the summit, when you get to this very difficult climb, they will have to go in the attack to try and pull back Bardet immediately.
Well, a lot of talk about Bardet at the moment. Jonathan Wouters has been issuing his thoughts as well as Bardet just goes on the attack here. He says, look at this dude. He put 35 seconds into the group behind using not his legs, but his attitude. Chapeau. I'll let you read it for yourself. Nonetheless, Sean, he's showing great fortitude, I think, is what was the sense of that tweet. And you need that today. It takes a lot of self-belief, frankly, and also the ability to take not only expectation but also criticism. He took a load of hits yesterday from the French press, who said basically he'd let them down. He's responding beautifully today in the best way.
Well, he has been responding a number of times in this tour. From his poor performance in the Pyrenees, immediately he lost all hope of doing something big in general classification, and that was the expectation of the French after his performance last year. But here today, he's taking it up early, not afraid. Was a director sportif, gave orders, try and get out of this group, and they were getting into a position where the peloton of big favourites was coming up very quickly, so they had to start riding up front, and that's the reason I think Bardet struck out that little bit earlier.
Well, he's struck out right now, but is it a knockout for everybody else? 42 seconds now. He's found a bit more pace as he comes into the Lassettes. Now, this is a beautiful climb for us to watch, and an absolutely hellish one for these guys to take on.
Yes, well, it is going to be hell, and for Bardet, he's been making the big effort now, made the descent, and when you have to make the descent, of course, you have to, really focus 100% on the corners to see where the the angles and how tight the corners are. If you're following down, well then the other riders help you in that way. But and he's been in the valley, of course. That is also going to be taking a bit of energy out of him. So we will see pretty quickly how we will make it on this one. And this climb is not a long one. It's 3.4 kilometres, but 8.2% is a steep one, and we will surely see somebody trying to out of this 8-man group chasers going in the attack immediately on this one.
Oh, I suddenly blacked out. Sorry, we seem to have just lost pictures, as it was Jongels that struck out, I should say, and there he is. Luxembourg champion has decided that it's going to have to be down to him. He's going for it. Romain Bardet is on the Lasset. Now, somebody some time ago decided that they were going to build a road over the local mountain because they were sick of going all the way around it. And so construction work began, and it took 14 years to actually make it. Thank goodness, because it's a gift to the world of cycling, this. And here comes Gautier. He's leading in Pierre Rolland, and this is a proper response to what Jongels has just done. And to my mind, Pierre Rolland is probably going to be the man today. Let's have a look and see whether he can deliver. Oh, he suddenly screams, and all he can do is say to Gautier, you go for it. Shows what I know. Gautier strikes out, and it looks like as well a line was drawn, and has Jongels also started to fade right now. This is what they're dealing with. I'm beginning to believe that Bardet can do this. 38 seconds, 39. Just keep watching that. It will ebb and flow depending on how he's going up this incline. Series of hairpins, Sean, that I think if you had to design it, you'd probably just start laughing and thinking that could never be built. Well, they did build it, and we're playing on it today.
Yes, we are playing on it, and some riders are playing better than others. We can see Jongels again just coming back to Gautier with Pierre Rolland on tour there, and I don't think Rolland is finished yet. He probably needs a little bit of time to settle into this climb, so the two Europcar riders trying to just stay in contact with Bob Jongels from Trek Factory Racing.
Well, let's see how they go. It's that Fuglsang who's managed to get himself back on and back in, despite being tagged by a motorcycle. All credit to him. I think he's going to get the combativity award today, no matter who wins. Mind you, Jongels as well has probably got a claim on that as well. He was attacked by the Europcar boys. Gauthier hung back for Roland to try and get him into his rhythm. Roland does, like a metronome, slowly but surely just change his pace, but it seems that he can get found out occasionally, especially if he's just shocked into action, which he doesn't really respond well to. This man has just rung the bell out there. Not round one, but final round. It is the last of our climbs today, Sean. If he can conquer this, he's got a great chance of winning a stage.
Well, if he can get over the top with 15-20 seconds, it could be the winning of the stage for him. And we can see here, Jongels working away very strong on it on the front here. But we've seen that Bardet, he can descend so well. He's done it before, and he knows that if he can make the top with that 15-20 seconds advantage, then he's going to just take all risks on the downhill, the final 10 kilometres.
And we've seen how well he goes on the downhill. It does kick up, it picks up towards the end, and it's quite a technical finish as well. 350 metres from the line, the road surface is absolutely hellish. Now, these guys are 3 minutes and 13 down. They're not going to make that up, Sean, on this short climb.
No, I don't think there's any chance of seeing the riders here in the group of big favourites, challenge for stage victory. It's all happening out in front now to the breakaway. So the 8 riders we see, and we've lost quite a few of them very, very quickly on this climb. So Bardet is in the driving seat at the moment, but the advantage is, 34 we're seeing, then it's 37. So he's holding on quite well, and it's, a short climb here. So if he gets at the top with anything more than 15-20 seconds, we go downhill very quickly, but then there's a flat section as well. So if there's a number of riders together in the final number of kilometres, that's where it could be difficult for Bardet as well. So he will need that 15-20 seconds advantage as we get to the summit and try and hold that, because there is a number of kilometres flat as we get closer to the finish.
Well, the health and safety inspectors have clearly not been to some of the vantage points here. You can take your life in your hand just for a good view. Those of you at home strapped into your sofa, probably feeling a little bit nervous on the spectators' behalf here. Good work by Gauthier getting Roland back and engaged, and they've just re-attacked Jongels and gotten by him. So they passed the Luxembourg champion. This man, though, is their quarry. It's about French bragging rights apart from anything else. And, of course, we're starting to think about top 10s, of which Bardet most definitely is thinking. Romain Bardet started the day at 11th, 60 minutes and 4 seconds down. Pierre Roland himself, who's just being guided here by Gauthier, his teammate from Europcar, started 14th, 8 minutes and 37 in arrears. But they're going to find some time today if they can hold on to these 3 minutes. And you never know. Gosh, Sean, some of these vantage points are scaring me, and I'm not up there.
Well, yes, it is a spectacular climb, but the riders, they're just focusing on the front wheel, having a little bit look up ahead, and concentrate at 100%. And definitely Bardet is having to do that, but also the Europcar riders. We can see Gauthier there taking it up again with Pierrot on the wheel. Winner Ancona there from the Lampre Merida team, he's made it across, from the Movistar team, and it's going to be an interesting one. 31 seconds at the moment, as you can see here. Just unbelievable climb.
There's one of the rope bridges that will get you around if you're an alpiniste and you're not afraid of gorges or indeed heights. The crowds, by the way, if you're wondering where the crowds are on the climb itself, they have been banned from being part of it. It was swept clear, which is why everyone's trying to get vantage points on some of the outcrops, and have really spent some time giving themselves a great view of it. But you at home have got the best of it. Micah is doing some great teamwork right now after some questions being asked of him after he was told to wait for Contador yesterday after his crash, and apparently his radio wasn't working for the second time in this tour. We asked Contador about it. He gave a very long and convoluted answer to one that should have been a short one. He should have just said his radio wasn't working, simple as that, which made us think that his radio probably was working. But anyway, today he's working for Contador. Meanwhile, working themselves into a lather, plenty of others as well, and here they come, rocking and rolling. And that is not yes, it is, it's Contador, I beg your pardon, Contador and Quintana also having some fun. So Micah leading Contador today, and there's Sammy Sanchez, who I'm afraid is done for the day, despite starting off as amongst the favourites. And so that group back there, the yellow jersey group, is starting to fracture itself. They're looking for time gaps, Sean, but not too many are being opened up.
Well, I think there is time on this one, because the peloton, they are big favourites. They have quite a bit to go, and the steeper percentage of this climb is a bit further up. We did see Bardet there. It was kicking up to quite a bit more. Not for long. The average is just around over 8%, but it does kick up a good bit more than that at places, as we can see. Bardet is getting very close to the summit here, but the advantage is also coming down. It's going to be an interesting one, because he's going to have to make the big effort, make the descent, and it depends on how well the others make the descent as well. We can see Winner and Kona there just pushing on with Pierre Roland in the wheel, and if the two of them pull well together in the final number of kilometres, he will need that 25 seconds advantage, Bardet, to hold on.
Well, Contador is showing more of his teeth today, but he's not taking bites out of anybody, I'm afraid. And least of all, Quintana, who just sailed straight up to his back wheel. And let's not forget that Quintana himself is probably looking after Valverde in third place. If they can't win it, they're like 2 steps to the podium, thank you very much. And that's what they've got at the moment. Bardet is looking for a stage win, and it looks like he might well be heading for one right now. This is a superb performance by him. He's got 30 seconds, Sean. He's approaching the crest, so he's going to take on the descent. Rather unkindly, it descends and then kicks up again before he actually engages the full descent. It's got a little V in it. It's a little bowl that he's going to go in and out of at the top of this climb before he starts the descent down to the finish today.
It does kick up a bit more, and we can see here the problem is the chasers. There are 4 riders here together. We can see Fuglsang has joined up with Jungels and Pierre Roland, Winner and Kona, so it makes it 4 chasers, and this is going to be the difficult one. He has to hold on to as much advantage as possible, but he's looking good, and we all know that he's a real good descender, so he's going to lose nothing on the descent. It's just the final number of kilometres where it does flattening out, but he should be able to hold on with anything around the 30 seconds. It should be doable.
I am so impressed with Fuglsang. He's here. Anacona is here as well. Roland is here, and Bob Jungels. Bob Jungels, the Luxembourg champion. Meanwhile, further back down the road, we have Mollema from Trek Factory Racing is within that group. There's Micah having done his job and maybe just buying a few favours from Contador in the future. There is Contador. You can see that Lotto Jumbo have also been trying their best, I think it is fair to say, today. And they've got it there. They've got some representation despite missing the early break.
Yes, well, I think Guessing is the man for the general classification. He's the only one, and he's riding quite well. He's defending in the last days and in a real good position. 6th overall at just over 7.5 minutes. A real good position for the Lotto Jumbo rider.
Oh, there he is. Bardet takes it. He's taken an all-category climb. He's taken a second category climb as well. He's a man who is on a mission. He's on full attack mode right now. Likewise, Fuglsang, what a fantastic performance by him. Let's just remind ourselves, Sean, he got tagged and taken out by a motorcycle earlier. It hasn't let it upset his rhythm.
No, it hasn't upset his rhythm, and he just came out with it quite well, because when you get taken out like that, you could get an injury, a serious injury. He got clipped by the motorbike, knocked over, but back on his bike very quickly, and here he is now setting the pace on the front, and we can see there that advantage over 40 seconds for our leader on the road, Romain Bardet, from the AG2 All Mondial team.
Well, all credit to Bardet for going for it today, and I can see that Roland is starting to struggle here, just emotionally apart from anything else. He's issuing words to the sky, and now he just rolls to the front to take on this descent first, and I suspect he'll be the one that is trying his best to attack Romain Bardet on what looks like it is potentially going to be a victory for the French today. Meanwhile, here in the GC group, the main contenders overall, of course, you've got the yellow jersey of Chris Froome, the yellow and black jersey of Trek Factory of Lotto Jumbo, with Robert Hessink, who's also as part of that group. And this is the Sammy Sanchez group right now with Micah. You see, Micah was leading the charge not that long ago, and he's back straight back into those boys, where you also find Bauke Mollema from Trek Factory Racing. So Nibali's tried an attack, Contador's tried an attack. Haven't seen an attempted attack from Valverde just yet. Likewise Quintana. I wonder whether we're going to get one on this descent. It's probably Valverde that would have the better of it, and it's Nibali that's gone, and Valverde goes straight on his back wheel. There goes Contador as well, and Chris Froome still spinning it up and staying with them for the time being, but a distinct lack of well, a huge team support, but he's got one man of course remaining with him. Almost seems to be a constant, of course, but it's Nibali that has pushed on, as you can see, and it is almost a vain attempt, I think, to go over the top and then take on the descent as quick as possible.
Yes, we can see there that a gap's appearing, and we can see in front of Chris Froome there's a little bit of a gap, and as Robert Gessing just fights to hold on, and Nibali, you know, getting more and more active, being quite active already on the Col de Glandon, and here he is putting the general classification men in difficulty as they just get to the summit. No major gaps, and it looks like they're going to start looking around. Who's going to do chasing now? 2:41 down. There's no concern about who's out in front. It's all about just the guys here in the general classification. Will they start attacking each other? Not much opportunities left as we go for the summit.
Geraint Thomas incidentally started with a fourth and 6 minutes and 34 now. This is the Sally Sanchez group just coming through right now. We take a mirror